Ahoy, my friends. It's your old buddy Doc, back again with another story time with Doc. And tonight we have a fabulous short story for you. You'll see as we begin to get into it. But let's begin with Henry's Pirate Surprise, written by Justin Birch and illustrated by Helen Poole. Let's begin, shall we? I'm excited to see where this goes. Henry's Uncle Richard was a toy maker and lived above his shop. Henry loved to visit because his uncle would always surprise him with new toys. Then he would ask Henry to play with them over the weekend. "You are my chief toy tester," his uncle would say. "It's a very important job." This time, his uncle had a special surprise for him. On a large table stood an enormous wooden ship. "Wow! A pirate ship!" exclaimed Henry. "It's amazing!" This is the Sticking Rose, the finest pirate galleon to sail the seven seas. But this is not the surprise," said his uncle. "Really? But it's fabulous! What could possibly be more satisfying than this?" asked Henry. "A fabulous pirate ship? What could be more fabulous than that?" We're always on the lookout for a good pirate ship. I think that honor is mine," said a voice from inside the ship. "The ship can talk?" Henry's mouth fell wide open. "The ship doesn't talk," his uncle started to explain. But then a door opened on deck, and a tiny pirate captain walked into view, took off his hat, bowed to Henry, and said, "Captain Eightpiece, at your service." Henry couldn't believe his eyes. "This is the best toy you have ever made, Uncle Richard." Henry, Captain Eightpiece is real, and so is the rest of his crew," Uncle Richard whispered. "Aye, absolutely," cried Captain Eightpiece. "My crew and I have been looking for a good ship. Fortunately, we came to your uncle's shop and found this wonderful vessel. We sail tomorrow." Tomorrow already? They love to just jump right into their adventure, don't they? But you can't be real. You're only 6 inches high, exclaimed Henry. Well, 6.5, actually. Captain Eightpieces stood tall. "Well, if I'm not real, then you won't be able to feel this, will you?" He took out his cutlass, marched over to Henry, and poked him in the hand. "Ouch!" shouted Henry. "He did that to me too," smiled Henry's uncle. "Then he paid me for the ship with gold coins. We're going to help Captain Eightpiece and his crew launch the ship tomorrow." "Aye, let me introduce you to my crew, dear boy," said the captain. "Men, on deck now!" he roared, and 4 tiny men appeared on the deck of the ship. There's even more small pirates? I can't believe that. Tiny pirate. How fantastic. "This is Barney Call, the first mate. He's second in command. And Limpy Pitt, the bosun. He makes sure all the crew members do their jobs properly. Periwinkle is the second mate and is in charge of navigation. And finally, Razor Clam, the helmsman. He mans the helm, which means he steers the ship. How fantastic. Captain Eightpiece looked up at Henry. We could do with a cabin boy, but unfortunately, you're a bit, well, big. However, we've got lots of jobs to do. If you want to help, that'd be nice. So Henry scrubbed the deck with a toothbrush. He stacked marbles that could be fired in the cannon. He put the pirate flag on the top of the mast, and he filled matchboxes with flour, cereal, and other foods to get ready for the long journey. Their food goes in matchboxes. We need to stock up on provisions every time we go on an adventure as well. Henry stayed with the pirate crew until bedtime. The crew told him about their adventures of sailing the high seas, battling scary monsters, and finding treasure. He could have listened to them all night. When Uncle Richard told him it was time for bed, Henry reluctantly bid the pirates good night and promised to help them launch the Stinking Rose in the river in the morning. Then he went up to bed and was asleep in minutes. After a long day of meeting very 6-inch pirates, very small, that would wear me out too. A noise downstairs woke Henry in the middle of the night. He heard a door squeak and then the sound of muffled voices. Somebody was breaking into the toy shop. Henry crept out of bed and tiptoed out of his room and across the corridor to his uncle's room. Then a voice from downstairs drifted up to Henry. Blimey, Dave, look at that pirate ship. That'd fetch a pretty penny. Let's just steal that and get out of here quickly. Oh no, the pirate ship is being robbed. Oh no. Henry knew he needed to scare the burglars away. He was desperately trying to think of a plan when he felt something run up his pajama pant leg and along his arm, and then he heard a voice whisper in his ear. Trying to figure out how to catch the burglars, are you? Good man. Captain Eightpiece swung from Henry's ear onto his nose and looked him in the eyes. Limpy, Barney, and Perry are hiding in the ship, ready to surprise him. Razor's underneath the table, up to no good, I'd imagine. What's your plan? Whispered Henry. Ha ha ha! We're pirates, me boy! We'll fight them! And with that, Captain Eightpiece jumped off of Henry's nose and ran down his arm and onto the floor, where he disappeared into the darkness. Aye, quite a pirate plan. We'll fight them. I wonder how it goes. The two burglars were now struggling with the Stinking Rose. Help me lift the ship up, wheezed the shorter one. The larger thief bent over the ship. Ouch! Something bit me hand. Shh, you big baby, the smaller burglar scoffed. Put your back into it. Ow! Something bit me too. Ouch! And again. Henry tried not to laugh. The crew was poking the burglars' hands with swords. Then Henry heard the buzzing of an engine. He looked up and saw a remote control helicopter. Captain Apiece was throwing tiny bags of flour into the thieves' eyes. "Oi, stop, you scoundrels!" Captain Apiece shouted. "Quick, run! Let's get out of here!" cried the thieves. Wonder how that's working out for them now. Guess we're going to find out. But when the burglars tried to run, they tripped. Razor had tied their shoelaces together. "Yoo-hoo! Henry, wake your uncle and call the police," called Captain Apiece, jumping onto the larger burglar. Razor jumped onto the shorter one's chin and threatened him with his cutlass. I don't believe it. I'm seeing things. There are pirate pixies in here," croaked the big thief as he fainted. I guess it is a little unbelievable. Little pirate pixies. Henry's uncle had already called the police when Henry went to get him. He and Henry went downstairs to find the two moaning burglars tied up. But there was no sign of the pirates. Only, if you listen very carefully, could you hear laughter coming from the Stinking Rose. The police arrived and took the burglars away. They congratulated Henry and his uncle for catching the two men and told them that there would be a reward. The police asked if they knew why the burglars kept talking about 6-inch tall pirates. But Henry and his uncle Richard pretended not to know. They made it seem like the burglars were crazy. I think it's only fair for trying to steal something that wasn't theirs. The next morning, Henry and Uncle Richard carried the Stinking Rose to the river and helped Captain Apiece launch the ship. It floated perfectly. Captain Apiece thanked Henry and his uncle Richard for the ship. That was a lot of fun last night, Henry. If you ever grow smaller, you can definitely be me cabin boy. With the tip of a hat and a grateful bow, Captain Apiece jumped on to the Stinking Rose, and he and his crew sailed off towards the seven seas and new adventures. Wow, how absolutely delightful. And you see, I told you it was a short story. But wonderful time that they had with Henry and Uncle Richard and the new pirate ship and thwarting the robbers. So working together and being courageous really worked out. And you have that ability too. So when things are dark, definitely go and find help. But you can usually always find the solution to the problem. So until next time, my friends, and I look forward to seeing you all next time, Storytime with Doc. Until then, be well.